is Meghan Baily and I'm a PhD student at the University of Oxford. My research project is with CCAFS. I'm part of a larger team called SIA, Systemic Integrated Adaptation. My role is the social lens. I participated in the workshop here in Nairobi and I was in the qualitative lens. And in that time, we devoted most of the first session to going through particular sort of broader, higher level concepts. How do you make a conceptual framework? Some of the barriers to qualitative research, such as researcher bias. We discussed all of those at length, and in the second half we went down into the details of data collection, doing exercises for coding and for understanding our perspectives, the worldview that we project onto the situation around us when we are observing people and when we are considering and analyzing the qualitative responses that they give us. I think that a few of the concepts about coding and methods of analysis were demystified for me a little bit. The exercises were very helpful. We had this great one where each of us were presented with a whole bunch of different varieties of buttons, and we went through different exercises of different ways that you could sort them, which sounds a bit elementary, but when you were practicing it and realizing how much our own personal worldviews were reflecting on the way that we were sorting them and the physical components of them that we chose to highlight, it did help me reflect on the sort of the subjectivity of coding sometimes, the importance of having mutual, I forget what the term was, but having it sort of bootstrapped, like having others look at your coding and validate it, so co-validation, and some ways of approaching co-validation that might be helpful. We worked through a lot of questions of level and scale within coding and within analysis that were quite helpful. And I think I'll be taking those exercises definitely back to my university and to my team. I'm hoping that I can actually meet with some of the master's students in my department and go through the button exercise and things like this, because I think that these concepts of coding or building a conceptual framework or things like that when you first start doing research are very intimidating, and I learned a few tricks about how to maybe teach those that I think were really helpful. The instructors were very talented teachers, and certainly everything related to scales and levels I'll bring to my own research. Not that I was unfamiliar with them before, but I think I have a greater fluency, and I'm better able to identify when something is not making sense, and not only identifying the mistake, but figuring out a way that you can reorganize it conceptually to make a lot better sense and make more straightforward research questions and data sets to inform those research questions, to inform the answers to those questions.